Hi everyone, it's Lisa here, and I have a different kind of video for you today. I have a tutorial video on how to do some photo editing in Adobe Photoshop. We're going to use this program right here. I have an older program, which is Adobe Photoshop Elements 8. There's new versions out. I think they're up to number 10 or 11 now. It's about an $80 to $100 program, so honestly, it's worth its weight. I know it's kind of a little bit of a pricier program, but it is definitely worth its weight. It's got lots of functions that you can use and very easy to use once you know how to. So I'm sure the newer ones have a little bit more ease of use, but this is the one I have for right now. So I'm just going to get right into the basics of how I get set up for doing my video or to do my photo editing. So I'm just going to show you into my photo library So I go into pictures and you're going to see I have a couple folders here and they all have the hashtag #1. The reason why I put that hashtag #1 is so that way they are always up at the top in this very first couple of folders. So I've got one here, Project Life number 2013 and 2014. So if you look in here, I have each of these divided up into months. So if you look in the January 2013, all my pictures for January 2013 are all in that file, as well as if I go back to the 2014, you can see I only have January 2014 in here, but you can see I've got all these folders in here that have all the folders or all the pictures for January 2014 in those particular folders. So if I just go all the way back, you can see I have some here that have these ones will be for April because it's got 04, 04, 04. So I'm going to show you how to make that file first. So we're just going to right click anywhere where you're not on one of these. So just kind of right click in the middle, go down to new, slide your thing over to folder. So now we're going to call it April 2014. Alright, so just press enter, and then what you're going to do is you're going to click on one, then go over to the other one, press Control, and click again, and then click again. So you have all three of those folders selected, and then just click and drag the whole thing over. So you want to make sure you can see it's moving. I'm just going to skip that file because I probably deleted it already. You can see I've got one more here that I didn't move, so if you didn't move that one, just go into here and move it into there. Oops, cancel. If we go into here, you can see those files are in there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you February. So February, you can see I've got a few files in here, but it's not put into this 2014 album yet. The reason why it's not in this 2014 album is because I still have to edit my pictures and get them printed out. So I don't put anything in these folders away until I'm finished with it. So we're going to get right into the video editing part of it. So just hang on, let me get that part going. Alright, so now that I showed you how to kind of organize your for your pictures, we're going to get right into the program. So we're just going to open the program up. If you've never seen Adobe Photoshop before, you're going to have two options. You're going to have Organize and Edit. Organize, I don't honestly use very often, but you can use it to date your photos. You can face tag. You can do a couple really neat things in there if you're trying to keep track of your photos that way. You can have them ranked so that your best pictures come up. Honestly, I don't use that because I do kind of keep all my pictures in different folders, so I'm good with that. So we're just going to use the editing version right now. So we're just going to click on Edit, and we're going to wait for the program to open up. So, and then the other thing I'm going to show you real quick while that's opening up is in February, you're going to see I created a folder here that says Ready to Print. So what I do is when I have finished making my pictures ready to print, when we get into Photoshop, I will save them to this file here. So that way, whenever I am wanting to get into the Walmart, all I have to go is right into this file for February, and all my pictures are going to be ready to go in there. So that's the other thing I do. So let's just open up this. All right, so you can see I have a couple of pictures in here. Let me just close some down, and we're going to start over from the beginning. So this is Adobe Photoshop Editor. Kind of looks a little scary at first, but honestly, it's not that scary. We're just going to get into the photo editing part of it right now. So we won't get into the other stuff that's a little bit more scary, but we'll just get into the photo editing. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we need to open some pictures. I do have some open here, but let's just open a new file. So go File, Open. And then we're just going to go, I'm just going to go right back to the beginning. So again, you're just going to look for your February 2014 file. So here it is right here, and you're going to open it. So I already have these ones open. Let's just open these ones up. So this is how I do it. I mean, there's other ways to do it, but what I like to do is I just like to open all my pictures. Hang on, let me start over again. So what I do is I click anywhere over here in this corner, wherever I'm in the white space is the best part. So click, so you get this little line, and just start dragging over and then highlight the whole thing. So just scroll down and then just open the whole mess up. You're going to get a whole bunch of pictures opened up, and then there isn't too many on this one, so that was a good file to open. And this came up with an error because I did have a movie file in that particular folder, and it won't open any movie files, which that's fine. So I'm going to just click on close that. It might come up with another little pop-up. And nope, that was it. So then this is what I do, is I'll just go through and see which pictures I want to keep and which ones I want to just close out that I don't want to print. So I'm not going to print that one. I'll probably print that one, so I'll just minimize that. Just close that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Just keep going, keep that one, that one, that one. And I'm just looking very briefly at them to see if there's ones I want to keep. I know I have a better picture of the cake. This is how I know. So I've got, this is a better picture, so I'm just going to close this one out. And keep that one and that one. Alright, so you can keep up to 200 files open at one time, so just kind of keep that in mind. And then what we want to do is we want to open a new file. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to make a canvas that's going to be 4x6 where we can put our pictures on in different sizes, so that way we can send it to Walmart. So just hang on one second. Okay, so this is how we do that. We're going to click on File. We're going to click on New and Blank File. So it's going to come up with a name here. If you want to put a name in here, you can. Don't feel like you have to. You're going to be prompted with this when you want to save the file anyway, so you could just leave it that out. These are the presets. When you click on here, you're going to see default Photoshop element size, US paper, international paper, photo, web, mobile device, film, etc. We're just going to be considered with just be interested in the photo part of it. So let's just click on photo. If you click over here, you're going to get some defaults of 2x3, 4x6, 5x7, 8x10. Portrait size. Landscape is the typical picture size. Portrait is the taller 4x6, if that makes sense. So we are going to be looking at the landscape 4x6. This is generally what I use. So I'm just going to click on that. And then just make sure it's 6x4x300. You want your width to be 6 inches. If this is on pixels, just go click on this part and then just go to inches, and it'll just switch it over. Just make sure it's on 6x4, and you want your resolution to be about 300, and then just make sure it's on the color one, unless you want it on grayscale, but there's other ways to deal with that. So let's not be concerned with that part. Let's just get into the editing part. So let's just click OK. So this is going to be our plain canvas that we are going to put our pictures on. Like I said, we're just going to be kind of making collages for Instagram pictures and 3x4s for Project Life at this point. I'm not sure if I said that or not, but I'm saying that now. So let's just kind of do a simple one picture image on this particular piece right here. Actually, let me just see. I need to undo this. Okay, there we go. This was the original size of the picture. So we are just going to edit it back. That's why I just undid the changes. So make sure you are on this little arrow piece right here. That's to move this picture around if you need to. I just clicked on that for a quick second. But yeah, this is to move this picture if you need to. So if I want to drag this picture over here, I can, if it'll let me. There we go. So you can see it's not going to fit on that 4x6 at all, unless we want it to. But I don't want that to take up that whole 4x6. I want this to be a 4x4. So let's delete this change. All right, so, and all I did was click on the picture and hit the delete button. Plain and simple. Okay, so for this picture, we want this to be a 4x4. So let's hit this crop tool. Now we're going to come up at the top where it's going to say aspect ratio, custom. If you want it to be these particular sizes, you can. We're just going to leave it on custom for right now. And we are going to select a 4-inch by 4-inch and then make sure this is 300. So once we get that, when we click in this little box here, just make sure you're up in this top corner and then just click and drag down until you fill the whole square, and you're going to see these little ants kind of dancing around the picture frame. Just hit the check mark and then that's going to shrink this picture down. So before we touch anything else, let's go over to this move tool, click on that. So that way we don't, because if we go like this again, it's going to take that and try and make that the 4x4 again. So let's not do that. Press the cancel button. So click on your move tool. Make sure you click on the picture, hold it down, drag it over to your canvas. So now you can see that picture is going to fit on that 4x6 canvas. So if I want to, at this point, I can save this file to send it to be printed at Walmart. So we can go File, Save As. I always go Save As just in case. Make sure you change this to the JPEG. Otherwise, your Walmart will not find it. Then we are going to go back, click on this little button here. We're going to go back to February because remember we had that little file that said ready to print. So we're going to click on that. We're going to click on the ready to print. There's nothing in here, but don't freak out. There's nothing in here because we haven't started anything. So I'm going to put February PL pick 1. And then I'm just going to click enter. Just go OK for all this. This is just saying that it's okay to save it as a JPEG file because it wants to automatically save it as a Photoshop file. But that's okay. We're just going to save it as a JPEG file. So hit OK. And if we go back into our pictures, go to February, ready to print. There's our picture right here. So if we, I don't know if I can open it, but if we open it, you can see we've got this border around this way. We've got our border around this way. So that way we can just take our trimmers and trim down here and trim down here, and that's going to give us a 4x4 photo. So awesome. All right, so let's close out of that. Now, I'm just going to click the X button because you're going to see it still says Untitled. So we're going to click the X button and it's going to say, do you want to save the changes to Photoshop Elements document Untitled before closing? If you want to save it as a Photoshop element file, you sure can. I just select no because I've already saved it as a JPEG file. So I just select no. So now Let's just undo the changes to this particular file. So let's revert it back. And so now what if we want to make this picture, say a 2.5 by 2.5 or a 3 by 3? What if we want to make it a different size? So that way we can maybe get 2 Instagrams on a 4 by 6 rather than 1. So let's go the same way we were going to do this last time. We're going to create a new canvas. We're going to create a canvas that we can send to Walmart. So we're going to go File, New, Blank File. You still want the 4 by 6. Everything else is the same. It should remain the same. So just click OK. All right. So there's our little canvas over here. So this little picture here, say we want it to be a 3 by 3. We're just going to click on that crop tool again, go up to the width, and just go 3, tab, 3. We still want it to be 300, enter. So then if we click in here, and you click and drag, and you click the check mark, see we have the whole picture selected again because we got the dancing ants all the way around. Click the check mark, click the move tool, click and hold down and move it over to your canvas till you get this little plus sign. We move it over, you can see it's going to be a different size. So it's a 3 by 3, but that means our picture is actually, like our canvas is 6 by 6. Or sorry, 4 by 6. So we could get potentially 2 on here, but you probably are going to get a little cropping on the sides. I'm not going to lie. So, and the other thing is Project Life pockets are a little bit smaller than 3 inches by 3 inches. So let's just delete this. So again, you can see I've got it highlighted here. I've got the little boxes around it. I'm just going to press the delete tool. Just press that. Delete. Awesome. Okay, so let's just revert that back. You don't have to do that part, but we're going to show you how to do it. So again, this is what we were on. We were on the move tool. Click on the crop tool. I'm going to go 2.5 by 2.5 and then by 3 inches. So that's going to be a 2.5 by 2.5 inch picture. So again, click and drag the whole picture. Press the check mark, grab my little move tool, click and hold so you get the plus. There's my picture right there. So that's what I do. So now I'm done with this picture. What are you going to do? We're going to click the X. Do you want to save the changes? No, I want it to stay original. I don't want to change this picture to a 2.5 by 2.5, just in case I want to scrapbook it later. So we're going to hit no every time. So that's that. So then let's grab another picture here. Let's grab this particular picture. So this one here, let's move this over. Let's say I want this to be a 2.5 by 2.5 as well. This is an actual square, or this is a typical 4 by 6 photo. So we're going to show you how to crop it. So we're just going to click the crop tool again. It's still on the 2.5 by 2.5. So we're just going to click, say, right around in here. So you can see I've got the little dancing ants kind of all the way around that picture. There we go. So I want, at this point, once we've got this, you can see it's not completely in frame. I can click and hold that and just move it down just a teeny bit. Or if I want to like bring it in, I can bring it in. But at this point, I would like the whole cake. So I'm just going to go like this and like this. Just bring it all out. And then you just pull this out. See, you can see I'm off screen a little bit here. And if you do that, then you're going to be, you're going to have that white edge on here. So again, I can just bring it down. I want that whole thing in there. So that is what I want. So as soon as I hit the check mark, it's going to crop it like that, which is going to look kind of funny. So let's not worry about that at this point. Let's just grab our move tool. So click on that. Again, click and drag over here. So you can see it's the same size as the other picture. So again, I'm just going to close this out. Do I want to save it? No, I want to keep it as the original. So as you can see, I've got a nice border around each of these pictures. So if I want to leave a white border around these particular pictures when I print them out, I can. If I don't, I can snap them right together so that way they are the exact same size. You know, if you want to be really silly, you can do that, but I like to snap them right to the same size and then just budge them out just a little bit so that way, again, if I want to keep a nice white border around the pictures, I can just trim that myself. So that's pretty good. So I'm just, again, going to go save as. So File, Save As. You can see I'm in this Ready to Print file. That's the default because I've already saved one file there. But you're thinking, why did none of the, she just saved a picture there. Why is it not there? So remember, we want to go Photoshop. Make sure you take it to JPEG. Make sure you change it to JPEG. Now here all of a sudden that picture shows up. So then we're going to go February PL Pic 2. Not any really genius method to that one. And then just go Enter. And again, click OK. All right. So that's done. We've got those pictures done. So I close those out. And again, I went to hit the X and it says, do you want to save it as a Photoshop Elements document? No, because I don't really care. I've already got it saved as a JPEG file. Now we're going to do some 3x4s. Okay, so hang on. Okay, so now we're ready to do some 3x4s, which is more or less the same thing. We are just going to go File, New, File, New, Blank File. There's shortcuts to that if you saw. If you want to create a new file, you could even go Control-N. So if you go Control-N, it defaults to that. So again, everything is still the same. Go OK. Just going to move that over, and we're going to pull up a couple pictures. So let's pull up this picture and this picture. So those pictures I want is a 3x4. Again, the photo pockets for Project Life are not exactly 3x4s. So I would suggest making them slightly smaller. So when I go to my crop tool, I'm going to change this to, again, it's going to be the width. So 2. If you want them to be flush to the pockets, you could go 2.87. I think it's actually 2.93. And then you could go 3.93, and that will be slipping in the pocket. You might have to trim it just a little bit, but you could get them into that pocket and they'd be right flush tight to the pockets. If you want them to be 3x4s, let's just do a 3x4 so I can explain to you that it does actually work for a 3x4. So let's do a 3x4 first before we get into the technical stuff. So let's just, this picture you can tell it's not going to be a total 3x4. So if I go like this, you can see it's not going to be the whole picture. So if we just pull it down to about there, I want a little bit more headroom, so to speak. So I'm going to, that's going to be a 3x4 there. So we're going to click OK. And what are we going to do again? We're going to go over to the Move tool, click on that, click and drag over to here till we see the plus sign, and then we have it here. So you can see I can snap that right up to that edge. You can almost see it snap to the edge if I go a little slower. See, it just all of a sudden snaps in. Okay, so I'm not going to get rid of that just yet. Let's move on to this one. So then for this picture, let's go another 3x4. So click and drag. My settings are still set to the 3x4 up here. You can see I want the picture like that. It's good enough. So click the Move tool, click and hold and drag over here, and then just kind of budge it over up to the top. You'll kind of feel, not really feel it snap, but you'll see it snap to the top there. and then just butt it all the way over, and then they will be the 4x6. So you can see. Now, you can leave them like this, and that's perfectly fine. And then when you get to your pockets, you can maybe trim a little here, you can trim a little here if they don't fit exactly right. Depends on what you're looking for your project life. There are times where I want the whole 3x4 to fill the pocket, and sometimes I don't. In this particular case, I probably want a little bit of maybe white space around the photo, so I'm just going to click on this picture, press delete, yes. Click on this picture, delete, yes. Alright, so just to show you how you could do this another way, see, we've already added this picture down to 3x4, so we can still leave it as that. Click on the crop tool, and let's go, say, 2.87 by 2.87. Or, sorry, by 3.87. I'm sorry. So that's going to crop it 2.87 this way and 3.87 that way. So that's going to give us a little bit of breathing room. So again, we can just go right over top of this whole picture, click the check mark, and you can see it didn't move very much. Don't worry about it. It did change it. So let's go to this one, do the same thing. Since we have them both open at the same time, click the check mark. Click the move tool, move them over. So you can see, oops, that did not work. Let me try that again. I think I have to revert it back. Let me go edit, revert, edit, revert. Or I think it's Control Z. Okay, so let's go. Oh, that's why it didn't work. There we go. And 300. Okay. Just make sure. Oops. Make sure you have these set. That was why it didn't go. So anyway, just make sure you have it set. So again, I'm gonna go like that. Click on that. Click on the move. Move it over. And you can see I have a little bit of breathing room, but it wants to snap it to the fold to the bottom all the time. I don't like that. Let's change this a little bit more. So edit, revert, crop. Let's change this to 2.75. I always like to change them to the same or close to the same. Otherwise, it's just going to be a weird ratio and they're going to look weird or stretched out or something. So again, that's all good. So we're just going to click on that, click that. I'm going to do this one at the same time. Click that. And then again, just click on the move tool, move them over. I like that a little better. It gives me a little bit more breathing room, you can see. And then click on this one. Oops. Click on this one, move it over. You can see that just gives me a little bit more breathing room. I like to give it a little bit more white space in between the middle here, because as soon as I cut it down the middle, it's going to cut this in half. So I'm not going to have as much white space. Like if I was to push them up like this, I'm not going to have as much white space to center around these photos. So I'm just going to push it back, and then that one is all good. If that makes sense. I hope it does. So anyway, I'm just going to close these pictures down. So no, I don't want to save them as that. No, I don't want to save them as that. So let's go to save this one. So again, File, Save As. Make sure you come down here to save as a JPEG. Click that. And then click up here and go February PL Pic 3. Done. Okay. So I just keep going, and again, I don't want to save as a Photoshop element file. I'm just going to close that down. So I'll keep going like that until all of my pictures are done and ready to go. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how easy it is to go into Walmart now that we created that file that says ready to print. So now that we saved all those files, we're just going to go minimize this. I already have Walmart up and going. So let's just go to add photos. You can create a new album if you want. Usually what I do is, I don't know if I have a February one. So just go to create a new album. Let's go February 2014 and just put PL Pics. That's just Project Life Pics, and then just go save. Okay, so then let's go click to add images, upload from my computer. I like to click and select my own photos, so let's just go to pictures, go to that February 2014 album, go to this one where they're ready to print, select this one, control, click, let go, and that will select them all at the same time. If you want to click and drag, say if we want to do all those ones, just click and drag. But right now I just want to select those two and then just open. So then it's going to have those two there. Just click upload. Oh, and I forgot to agree to the terms. I agree to the terms. And then just click upload. And you can see there's one. And then there's two. So those two are all done. So you can see they are in here. So then all I do is click, order prints, add to cart. So then if I go to my cart, oops, there'll be like 75 images in there, but let me just go back. These pictures are now ready to print. They're ready to go. They're in my cart. I send my cart away and done. So simple. I hope that was pretty self-explanatory. If you guys have any questions below, please leave them and I will see if I can do another video like this to kind of answer your questions. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.